So, what I love is I've had a look around and I wonder if you, just where you are, just look around at the whiteboards, see if there are any, I know some of them it's writing that you can't necessarily read, but I wonder if you can see some of the numbers, some of the diagrams that have been drawn, some of the equations, okay? Now, I'm going to draw on that shortly, but before I do, what I want to do is I am going to, like, what are we doing here? We're trying to get to this understand stage, yeah? We've all kind of seen, you know, hopefully now by doing enough times how to do the trick. Go home, find a deck of cards in your family's house if you can find one and do this on your family. It's very entertaining. You've performed it, but this part's eluding us, at least about half the room based on what I can see written down, okay? But we're getting there, we're getting pretty close, okay? So let me show you what's going on, and again, you already have several of the pieces of the puzzle, okay? The first thing you've already worked out is that it is important that I give you 9 cards, right? In fact, when you're performing this actually to whoever, your friends, family, that kind of thing, what I would suggest is rather than the way I did it in front of you and it made it very obvious that there were 9 cards, instead of doing that, do what I just did and I'll do it again so you can see it, right? You've got the whole deck of cards in your hand and you don't need to count aloud. You can just physically with your hands feel what 3 cards feels like and then you can do it again and then you do it a third time and without obviously counting up to 9, you've given them 9 cards. Made sense? Okay. Now some of you said to me, like, is it important that there are 9 cards? Well, in mathematics, every detail. It worked? Yeah. Finally, okay, we got there. Right. In mathematics, all the details matter, right? And you could have proved this to yourself by, for example, giving your friend 10 cards, or 8 cards, or any other number. It has to be 9. Okay? Now, why is that? Well, let's actually perform the trick again, but this time I'm going to try and draw your attention to the parts of the trick that matter. And you're going to need, remember I asked you to get your books out, okay? I want you to take a few notes during my explanation of this, okay? So, we're now doing this trick together. I'm putting you on the inside of the magician's circle now, okay? So being that we're doing this trick together, don't worry about the stagecraft of selecting what card it is. Let's just have a look at the top card together. 6 of hearts. That's the one, okay? Now, even if you knew that here's the 6 of hearts, and I've given you 9 cards, right? And you can just count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay? Are you settled? You got a book? You got something to write with? Okay, fantastic. Good. Even if you noticed that there were 9 cards, I was actually doing, despite the fact that this isn't a magic trick, it's a mathematical trick, I was actually doing something that magicians do all the time, which I don't know if anyone's heard this word before. It's called misdirection. Misdirection. You can even tell what it is by the name. It's directing your attention away from where the really important things are happening and distracting you, right? Now, the misdirection I did was, I said, look, 9 cards, pick from these 9, right? The really important number was not 9. Some of you have worked out what the really important number is. The really important number is the rest of these cards that I handed to Aria, right? Some of you have written it on the board, right? How many cards did I hand to Aria at the start? 43, very good. 43 cards. Here's the 6 of hearts. And in fact, if you just have a look at that whiteboard in the back right-hand corner of the room, right? You're about to see the diagram I'm going to sort of do here, right? Here's the 43 cards. There's your card. And there's 8 cards underneath it, right? Bam, I've just put it on top. Not a rhetorical question. The 6 of hearts that we're trying to find, what position is it from the top of the deck? 44. Please write that down. Position 44 from the top of the deck. Okay, and now we begin the trick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now, this whole time, it looks like I'm just counting, right? But actually, I'm doing that thing I mentioned at the start. I'm misdirecting you still. You just hopefully don't realize. The number you're thinking about is the number that I said aloud. It's the number that you're like seeing. It's 0, right? But 0 is not the important number. The really important number is, how many cards are in this pile? 11. There are 11 cards because I counted down from 10, and then there was the 0 card, right? So there's 11 cards, you might want to jot that down, in this pile, okay? 11. How many times did I do this again? 4 times. 10. Okay, now again, I'm still misdirecting you, which is why this trick worked the first time, and you were like, what? The number you're thinking of is the number I said aloud, 10. The number you're looking at is 10. But the number that really matters is how many cards are in this pile, which is 1. What's 10 plus 1? It's 11 again. 10. Just suppose it's not 10 because we've already done 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay. The number you shouldn't be thinking of is 4. The number you should really be thinking about is, count them up. There's 7 cards here, plus 4 gives you 11. Last time, 10. Okay, fine. You get the idea, right? The whole idea here is I really want to get 4 piles up to 11, because that gives me 4 11s is 44, which you already know is where our card is. But the whole idea is, like, how many cards are missing in this pile to get up to 11? Answer, 4 cards. How many cards are missing in this pile to get up to 11? Answer, 0 cards. It's already there, right? So when I'm adding up those numbers, it's just the total number of additional cards I need. What is it in this case? 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. You hardly even bat an eyelid now that of course it's the 6 of hearts, because numerically it has to be. Okay? So what we're trying to get at here is the understand stage. Do you see, really all we're doing is just fancy counting. That's all that makes this work. But I want to test, and we've got 15 minutes to do it, if you really, really understand. I'd like you to transform this trick. I want you to make up your own different version of this same trick. Here's what I want you to change. Or rather, here's what I want to stay the same. You're still going to have some number of piles of cards here, right? You're still going to be counting down from something. But I want you to change the numbers up. Maybe you don't have 4 piles. Maybe you don't count down from 10. Maybe you count down from 9 or 8. Now, when we change those numbers, you're going to change how many cards you have to give to the person you're performing the trick on. And that's what I want you to see if you can work out. If you change the number of piles, or if you change the number that you're counting down from, how many cards are you supposed to give to make the trick work? Good luck. Do it as many times as you like. See what you come up with.